I'd like to present our first speaker here up on the stage. He's a man called Gary Beal, and I actually met him the first time yesterday when we had a dinner. And he's actually one of the top SEOs regarding the gambling industry. He's worked a lot with it, and he also worked in a company called Vanguard SEO. And he's a frequent speaker. He told me here last day here yesterday that he has been on 41 different conferences this year and spoke. And that's about, I don't know, about 4 per month. So he's traveling all around the world and speak here, and we're really happy to have you here, Gary, and he's going to talk about top 12 tips for 2009. Welcome up.
Is your microphone? Oh, I guess we don't need one. Thanks for that, Simon, Christoph. Thanks for the dinner last night. I appreciate everybody coming out on spending their Saturday. Not sure what's going on outside with the helicopters and the horse, the cops and the horses. And is it a football game or is it a religious or a political rally or something going on out there? But anyway. All the way here, I was just looking around trying to figure out what in the heck was going on. I didn't think it was because there was an American in town, but at any rate, as Simon said, I come from, I own Vanguard SEO in the United Kingdom, in England. I started out as an affiliate and then a super affiliate, and then went into SEO. When they outlawed gaming in the US about 3 years ago, and I moved to England. So the tips I'm going to give you are kind of broad scale, because I do SES and SMX, and I do, you know, like affiliate for you conferences, a casino affiliate program, and all these different conferences. And you're really speaking to people at different levels, so you really never know if you're talking over or under. So what I've tried to do with these 12 tips is mix in some basic stuff and some advanced stuff, and hopefully everybody can take something away from this. We do, as an SEO, I think everybody, every SEO out there, whether they want to admit it or not, does a bit of black hat, gray hat, white hat. They put a little bit of everything into the mix. I've tried to steer away from the black hat stuff, but you know, in the gaming industry, obviously, like anything else, any other competitive industry, you're going to have to do a certain amount of it. Whether it's buying links, whether it's, you know, doing one of many different strategies that you can implement to get traffic to your site. So I'm going to try and keep this fairly clean, but one thing that I've made sure that I'm known for, actually 2 things. Number 1, there's no commercials. There's nothing worse than going to a conference and hearing commercials, especially if you got to pay for them. The second thing is I'm very approachable, so you can speak to me face to face, shoot me an email, pick up the phone and call me. Whatever technique you want to know, whatever answer you want to, whatever question you want to ask, feel free to ask me. I'll probably run through these too quickly because we are limited on time. So just if everybody do this for me for a minute. Okay, so I know you can do it. So if I stutter over something or move over something too quickly, please hold your hand up. It will benefit everybody because they probably have the same question. So moving on. And again, like I said, there's a lot of basic stuff here, but there's some advanced stuff at the end. It's just trying to address everybody in the crowd. What you're going to take away from me today is some beginner to advanced SEO tips, how to get additional links immediately and for free, which I think everybody knows that links are more than 50% of what's going to determine your ranking with Google. How to boost new products into the top 10, and secrets to geographical targeting. Again, not to beat a dead horse, but my industry is gaming, so a lot of these things are a bit more aggressive than you might want to be. I don't know what market you're in or what you're promoting, but just take that to heart as we go through these. Tip 1. make sure your site's ready for SEO. I don't remember one client ever coming to me that I didn't look at their site and find an issue with it. Whether it's crawlability, whether it's a multitude of issues that will create problems with whether it's Google crawling your site or usability on an end user, from an end user aspect. So before you start any SEO, before you do any of these tips I'm doing, you need to go to your site and search or crawl your site and make sure that it's ready for SEO. There's several tools out there you can do. Webmaster Central with Google is probably one of the better ones. You can find 404s, 301s, broken links that you can actually fix the links and pick up more links. You know, I've seen sites that they'll go out and they'll have links pointing back to their site, and they've moved the page, or the webmasters went in and did whatever they do, and the page isn't discoverable anymore. It's not crawlable, and you've got people out there that are linking to these pages. So that's one of the big issues that I've seen. I'm going to talk about a couple tools in this presentation as well. Most of them are free. The ones that aren't free are cheap. Xenu is probably one of my favorite tools I've been using for 4 or 5 years. It's xenu.com. It'll go through and it'll crawl your site and it'll give you a lot of different information. And I'll show you that here shortly. But Webmaster Central is probably my other favorite pick because you can discover what Google sees and figure out how to fix it. Optimize your internal link structure and use no-follows to boost your positions. There's been a lot of talk on this recently, and I collaborate with no less than 100 or more webmasters that we test these things on a regular basis. We don't go out and pull information off forums and repurpose it and spin it in our own language. We actually go out and we test things. So when Google came out and said that no follows were ineffective, or Matt Cutts came out and said no follows were effective, we questioned it. Especially when they said it was May of last year that they did it, because we monitor this stuff. We continually crawl the web looking for changes and monitor the top 10 positions in the top 10 industries that we target, like travel or finance or whatever. And what they said was they devalued no follows. For those of you that don't know no follows, what happened, you got Google Blogspot and you've got WordPress, and spammers and black hatters were going out and manipulating the system more or less. They were creating all these blogs to create links back to their site. Well, Google recognized that and they said, well, we're going to put something in place to eliminate that from happening, the no follows. Whenever a link goes out to another site, it passes a certain amount of page rank or juice, so to speak, onto that site. And no follows prevented that from happening. And what Google said was that they were putting these in place to eliminate the abuse of Blogspot and WordPress and the rest of them. And they said that they did it in May of last year, but they didn't tell anybody. Well, we monitor this stuff, and I can tell you that they did not. I think Google spins a lot of things out there to manipulate SEOs to try and gauge what we do or manipulate what we do, or I don't know, plug a hole that we discover. And the no follow is part of it. So anytime anybody created a new blog spot, it automatically put no follows in there. So there was no link juice to pass on. So they say, well, we've tested it and it's completely false. Link juice does pass down. So as my second tip, what I'm getting at here is that you can sculpt link juice, and there's a lot of different ways you can manipulate, or you can use this. This graphic here is just showing you a typical website and how it leaks or passes link juice onto the internal pages. So at the top, you've got the link juice coming into the home page going to the About Us and the products, and then so forth and so on. Well, the About Us page, the contact info, who wants to rank for that?